As we get to 4 o'clock on this Tuesday, the parents of a man who was shot and killed by a sheriff's deputy in Clear Creek County, they now say they want that deputy in jail. And the newly released body camera video shows 22-year-old Christian Glass and that he appeared to be in the midst of a mental health crisis. He had called 911 because his car was stuck on a road in Silver Plume. 70
minutes after police arrived, Glass was dead. Experts have questioned the use of force and their response to a mental health call. 9 News reporter Steve Steger is joining us. He's been reviewing this video for about a week. And you were at a press conference with the family this morning, and the family says police actually provoked the shooting.
Yeah, experts in use of force and in mental health, they've hinted the same. Christian Glass was in an obvious mental health crisis. For the entire 70 minutes, police surrounded his vehicle. He wouldn't come out of his car. Deputies decided to break a window, which led to the confrontation, then the shooting that killed Glass. We want to warn you, we're going to show you some of that video of what happened in the moment.
I miss him so much. It's so unfair.
By all accounts, Christian Glass was the kind of guy you'd want to get to know.
He was a gentle soul with a big heart.
An artist who found beauty in rocks, hence the geology knives he kept in his car, and the other treasures recovered by his family.
These heart rocks were in Christian's car, along with other rocks and precious stones.
Those are some of the only reminders of that night in June that Sally Glass wants to hold on to.
You know, there's a hole in my heart, and it will be there till the day I die.
I'm in a vehicle. My vehicle got stuck in a really bad way.
The night Christian called 911 for help.
You already said you have weapons in the car. Okay, I'm gonna pass them out. Can I throw them out? No, do not throw them out. Do not touch them. Do not reach for them.
And was met with this.
Step out of the car now. I will break the window. Step out of the car.
He had done nothing wrong. He was just too scared to get out of his car.
After 70 minutes of negotiating with Christian to get out of the car, even though things were at times calm.
That's awesome. Where'd you get that?
A deputy decided to break his window. And after Christian grabbed one of those geology knives, the deputy shot him with beanbag rounds, tased him, and eventually shot and killed him after he appears to swipe at a nearby officer.
He trusted the police to come and help him. Instead, they attacked and killed him.
Use of force experts who reviewed this video say the decision to break Christian's window, escalating the entire encounter, is questionable at best. Just 20 minutes before it, the state patrol, who was also on the scene, questioned whether they had the legal ground to do it.
If there's no crime and he's not suicidal, homicidal, or a grave danger, then there's no reason to contact him.
You know, I've been doing this almost 20 years. Seen some of the worst things that have ever come through this state. I have never seen this level of poor policing.
The Glasses and their attorneys are calling for charges against the deputy for the decision made that night.
Our son's life is extinguished, and no one is accountable.
A decision that took their son's life when all he wanted was help.
And what keeps me upright, and what keeps me putting one foot in front of the other, is to seek justice, and really to get that behind bars.
The 5th Judicial District Attorney released a statement today confirming that the use of force is still being investigated by her office. She says her office has also been in contact with the U.S. Attorney's Office, the Justice Department Civil Rights Division, and the FBI Denver office. Clear Creek County Sheriff's Office has not responded to our questions still about this video. The attorneys for the family say that the deputy is back on the street, was back on the street quickly. We've asked the Sheriff's Office, is he back on the street? We still haven't heard back.
Well, the video and the press conference, both very difficult to watch. And you think about not really knowing the subject's background. And it just seems like one of the first things you try to do in a situation like that, or you expect to have done in that situation, is a de-escalation of what was happening at the time.
When you watch the full 70-minute video, you see that when the officers or when the deputies initially arrive, they escalate almost immediately. Get out of the car, get out of the car, get out of the car. This is a lawful order, get out of the car. I've talked to use of force experts who say, I don't see justification for the lawful order to get him out of the car. And it takes a little while. They finally calm things down. They have a few calm minutes, but then when they make that decision to break the window, that's when things kind of start getting out of hand.
Sideways.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. We know you've been working on this for many days and watching every single minute of this video because that's important for context.
It's an incredibly difficult video to watch. If you do want to watch it for yourself, we have it on 9news.com. I will warn you, it's very difficult to watch.
There will be more to this story. We know you'll follow up. Thanks, Steve.
Thank you, Steve.
The patrol car outside of the Arvada Police Department remains covered in bright flowers with handwritten notes, police badges from all over the country. That's the memorial for Officer Dylan Vakoff. It is still open for the public to visit.
And people have been streaming by in the past couple of days. 9 News reporter Noel Brennan joins us from the Arvada Police Department. And Noel, you met a man whose job is to care for the memorial.
Kim, every single bouquet of flowers that you see behind me has been neatly arranged on that patrol car, as is every memento and card left behind. And it's all thanks to a volunteer from the Colorado Fallen Hero Foundation. He was called in to help Arvada Police after the department lost one of its own.
This is my first day here attending to everything. All right.
As he watches over a memorial,
It's quite a privilege.
Don Rohacek gets to know a man he never met.
My son is 2 years younger.
Oh,
And I just think of how much he had in front of him.
yeah. It's so sad.
When Arvada police officer Dylan Vakoff was shot and killed in the line of duty,
This is what we do.
Don was called in with the Colorado Fallen Hero Foundation to care for his memorial.
To keep it neat and tidy, to interact with the public. Take your time. We have sidewalk chalk if you'd like to leave a message for his family.
He never knows who will visit next, but he'll learn about Dylan each day.
Incredibly dedicated, a huge desire to serve. It was so deeply embedded in him that this is what he wanted to do, and he loved what he was doing here in this community.
A community Don understands because he's tended to a memorial here before.
I've had people tell me, not here, this doesn't happen in Arvada. And for this to happen twice in 15 months in Arvada, it's just horrible. You know, it's easy to see when we hear about these tragedies, it's an officer. It's not an officer. It's another remarkable human being, and we need to remember that.
Don never met Dylan, but he knows the depth of Arvada's loss.
And if anything, I hope it makes the community stronger.
We witnessed a moment here earlier this morning that we were asked not to film out of respect for Arvada police, but I wanted to describe it for you. We saw a group of Arvada police officers that were out jogging through the neighborhood. They were training, and they all jogged through here at one point, and they stopped, and each one of them stopped at the photo of Dylan Vakoff behind me, and each one of them touched that photo, and then they huddled together. Some of them were in tears, but they held on to each other and they stayed there in silence for a few minutes before continuing on their jog and continuing their training. It was a really powerful moment, guys, that just, I think, spoke to what Dylan Vakoff meant to his colleagues and just the fact that his fellow officers are continuing the work that he did here at the Vega Police Department. So it was a powerful thing to witness, and you just have to know what those guys are going through right now.
Grieving and working. I mean, that's just, it's and it will be for a long, long time.
Quite a challenge.
Thank you, Noel.
Here we are in mid-September, and despite those clouds, it is very warm. We've been seeing temperatures more like mid-August. We're almost done with fall, though, Kathy, and or done with summer on our way into fall. Sure doesn't feel like it yet.
No, almost 90, Tom, in spite of this abundant cloud cover you're seeing out here in the smoke and haze. But the moisture that's coming in tonight is part of a weather change for tomorrow. But I want to show you what that system has been doing in parts of California. It's a tale of two worlds, if you will. In Southern California, so much rain, rivers of mud coming off the hillsides, down the roadways, stranding people. They're having to evacuate people. Too much water in an area that desperately needs the water. And then a few hundred miles up the coast and inland from Northern California near the town of Sacramento, the mosquito fire is out to 50,000 acres now, 18% containment. Already close to 100 structures have either been threatened or burned, and they are trying to get this fire under control. So again, you've got fire in Northern California, heavy flooding rain in Southern California, and back here in Colorado, All of that impacts our weather here because the moisture coming in from the southwest is part of the remnants of Hurricane K that brought the heavy rain to Southern California. Ahead of it, winds out of the south have brought us a warm, dry day, 80s and 90s, but only for today. Moisture already moving into western Colorado, a couple of high-base thunderstorms, thunder and lightning. This moisture is coming into Denver tomorrow afternoon, and temperatures will take a tumble. We'll move into the 70s after sunset, and coming up in Maine weather, we're going to talk in detail about the Wednesday storm and how much moisture we can expect here in Colorado, Tom.
Well, there were bad numbers about inflation today, and that sent the stock market diving. The Dow dropped nearly 1,300 points, while the Nasdaq lost more than 5% of its value, and the S&P suffered its biggest drop since the lows of the pandemic. This after key August inflation data showed the consumer prices rose 8.3% in the year through August. That was worse than economists' expectations, and it's casting doubt over the idea that inflation had peaked.